So when I got this, the topic, most of the panelists reached out to me privately and said, how are we going to talk about changing dynamics of collaboration and competition? Sounds more like a business case study in an MBA school. I don't know how we'll contribute. So I'll just set context here. So what happened was during COVID and pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, one of the constant endeavors for us from the Chennai retail, Chennai RAI, has always been how fellow retailers, how all of us can collaborate, right, and save on resources, right? So because now, if you look at retail, retail is actually a very simplified business. It's about, in Tamil they say varavu and selavu, right? It's about your costs and your revenues and how we map the two of them to eke out a profit, right? So it's actually a very simple business. No, I'm just saying. But unfortunately, the business has become more sophisticated, but at its core, that's where it lies, right? It's about costs and cost arbitrage. Come, Pratik, please, we're waiting for you. No worries. And just about cost and cost arbitrage. Now, how, as businessmen, how do we usually, how do we navigate our businesses? Some of it is, of course, our inbuilt instinct and gut. Some of it is management books. And some of it is from observing competition as well. I guess we all look at competition, we learn from competition, and not necessarily competition only from our sectors. We look at competition from other sectors as well, you know, and learn. So that's the perspective I'm setting here for all of us and for all the panelists on how competition has impacted each and every one of us, how much we've learned from the competition, and on how we can collaborate as retailers to essentially bring down what we call our customer acquisition cost and ensuring that our pressure on our pricing is reduced, hence making the product a stronger value proposition and building that cycle of virtue, right? So I'll start off with that. I'll start off with Pratik himself. Pratik is a fellow retailer, somebody I admire, and he has over 150 stores. How many stores now, Pratik, in Chennai?
Chennai is 100.
He has 106 stores in Chennai. I used to think, man, 17 apparel stores in Chennai, I'm the cat's whiskers. And when I heard his number, I stopped telling people how many stores I have, right? So we'll start off with Pratik. We'll ask him on how his business journey has been, what has competition impacted him, and if we were to ask him for a wish list on collaboration, what would his wish list be? Pratik.
Thanks, and sorry for being late. Good afternoon, everyone. So I think competition is required in business, and that gives you an opportunity to scale up much better, always. For us, I think competition is from two fields. One is from the digital field, and one is from the traditional field. So when we go into setting up stores or looking at avenues where to set up as a retailer, we always thought about opening stores right next to another mom and pop retailer, right? Because that's your catchment. We are a neighborhood brand. We are there in every pin code, in every location. But as the digital era came in and when digital players started coming into the business, you either need to have the DNA to have the digital business and the know-how, or the DNA to burn like how a digital business wants to burn. So it's like, you have to decide who your competition is first. I think people get a lot carried away by saying that the larger player is your competition, but I personally follow the blue ocean strategy. So when we decided on understanding competition, we said that there is luxury, there is premium, there is affordable premium, and there is mass. So if I'm taking a small catchment of say 100 customers, in that 10% goes to luxury, which is 10 customers. 10% goes to premium, which is another 10. So 20 customers are hived off. 30% goes to affordable premium. So 50% of the market is a market that you want to go target, but it's affordable to go convince, and the CAC is quite expensive, even in a brick and mortar. But 50% is the mass audience. So even if I get a 20-30% market share of the 50%, I'm getting at least a 30% of the overall pie. So I believe in creating a larger value for my store rather than seeing what my competition is selling. And when I come to collaborative, I think people say nowadays omni-channel. I think more than omni-channel, the word is omnipresent. You need to be available everywhere for the consumer rather than you going and selling everywhere. Whether it's a supermarket, it's a basic store, it's a naturals, or it's anywhere. I think you should have access to being able to service the consumer there. So hence, we've gone into complete omni-channel through our digital platform. So when we see our e-commerce sales have grown, we don't acquire customers through Google and Facebook alone, but also just through the normal digital devices that we place in the other mom and pop stores.
Are also a form of customer acquisition.
The store is first and foremost the customer acquisition channel, but the expansion of the store outside its limit, it's only through digital. Yeah.
So we've got two technology players here, so I'm going to come to you on collaboration because I think you'll have a larger piece to play. So Faisal, you were very worried, saying, what am I going to add? What is the role competition has played on you? I think you've got a very disruptive business model, very disruptive, right? And what is the role competition has played on you? And how did you arrive at this point in your journey? How did you arrive at this formula for your business? And where did you, and where do you see competition playing a role when they come after you? When they come after you, right? Because today, if you're a successful business model, right, there are going to be 10 success stores who are going to copy success 2, success 3, whatever. And how are you going to build a moat around your business?
See, one basic thing, when you started, you told, retail is just buying and selling. ஒரு சிம்பிளிஃபைடான ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்க, வாங்குறோம் விற்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு தான் சொன்னீங்க. எனக்குமே காம்படிஷன் வந்து அப்படி தான் தெரியுது. See, like, market is the same. Market is the same. It is now the game of market share. ஸோ இவ்வளோ தான் மார்க்கெட்டுன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு, இதில் எவ்வளோ நம்ம மார்க்கெட் ஷேர் எடுக்க போகிறோம் அப்படின்றது தான் இப்போ மைண்ட் செட்டில் இப்போ கேம் ஓடுது. இப்படி பார்க்கும்போது மை தாட் இஸ் லைக் where the competition is அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது first thing we need to increase the market shareக்கு first we need to increase the walk-ins அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது the online promotions is playing a major role. And second thing, மார்க்கெட்ஸை கான்கேர் பண்ண போகுதுன்னு சொல்லும் போது லைக் ஐ தாட் நம்ம வந்து சிஸ்டம்ஸ் அண்ட் ப்ராசஸஸ் ஸ்ட்ராங் பண்ண போகும்போது வி ஆர் ஹோல்டிங் த மார்க்கெட். இப்போ யோர் கொஸ்டின் இஸ் when people are coming after me அப்படின்னு சக்ஸஸ்ன்னு இதே மாதிரி பண்ணும்போது how I seeing the competition பார்க்கும்போது now the expectation of the customers have changedங்க. So before 3 years when I started in Erode எப்படின்னா we demanded, see like we said 1000 rupeesக்கு எடுத்தால் தான் ஸ்டோரில் பில்லே ஆகும், கவர் கிடையாது, 3 quantity of shirts பில் பண்ணணும், இப்படிலாம் ஒரு 2-3 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி தான் சொன்னோம். பட் நவ் இட் இஸ் நாட் லைக் தட். இப்போ வந்து கஸ்டமர்ஸ் ஃபஸ்ட்டு ப்ரைஸை பார்த்தாங்க, நெக்ஸ்ட்டு ப்ராடக்டை பார்த்தாங்க, அப்புறம் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க, இப்போ ஆஃப்டர் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க, அப்புறம் ஃபீட்பேக் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. இப்படி சி லைக் அகெயின்ஸ்ட் த ஃபீட்பேக் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோன்னு எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ இட் கீப்ஸ் ஆன் ஆடிங். ஸோ நான் அங்கே தான் காம்படிஷன் இருக்குதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ இப்போ அந்த இடத்துல ஆட் ஆக போகும்போது ஹவு வி ஷுட் கெட் ஸ்ட்ராங் அப்படின்னு பார்க்க போகும்போது ஐ திங்க் வி ஷுட் லிவரேஜ் ஆன் தி strength on the increasing our market shares and the strength on increasing our markets. So அந்த இடத்துல தான் what I feel.
So you see, I think that's probably the mission statement for all of us. Where does collaboration aid you in achieving your goals? Do you see a role for collaboration? I'll give you an example. Now, Pratik and we did a collaboration. We distributed vouchers in each other's store, right? Now, Pratik's business does not compete with mine and vice versa, right? Why are we doing this? Because we're reducing each other's customer acquisition cost, right? It's as simple as that, because every customer has a cost, right? And we're actively doing this now, you know. In fact, today evening, later this evening, we intend to make a small round table of retailers, like-minded retailers, non-competing retailers, and see what we can do to ensure that we reduce our dependence on mainstream media channels, because we all know what the costs are, right? And I guess all businesses, all of us are trying to find that one lever where we can grow with reduced risk. So do you see a scope? Now, for example, your store has huge crowds, I've seen, right? And do you see a scope for leveraging that customer, that crowd, that line, to use it for anybody else? For example, do you see yourself working with the Chai Kings right, in your store, or saying, I'll take 500 square feet more, and I'll bring them in. Hence, I'll improve my consumer experience, right? Do you see yourself collaborating with the specs maker saying, Pratik, the next store I'm picking up, I'm going to pick up 6,000 I usually require. I have 8,000. Do you see a scope for growth like that?
Definitely.
And have you thought of that?
Yeah, definitely. The first step, what now we have taken is now we are getting into a concept of success wow, wherein now we are entering into the women's segment and the kids segment first, under the price range of 399. So that the same walk-ins, same customers, wherein we are expanding the product range. இதுக்கப்புறம் ஃபியூச்சரில் வந்து நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி again we should be able to collaborate with Pratik, we should be able to collaborate with Sadiq and then say 5 rupees, 10 rupeesக்கு சாய் கொடுக்கணும், 100 rupeesக்கு ஸ்பெக்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும், எல்லாமே under this bannerல we should be adding. Definitely there is scope. Again, இந்த இடத்துல the target point here is the price point in வரப்போகும்போது, as you said, experience has to be improvised and then products has to be added.
You know, what do you think? Because you're also,
Hello.
you know,
Hello.
you're Leo Coffee, you're known very well, and always about we're trying to get to where the consumer is, right? And we
yeah.
want to find a direct path to the consumer.
Yeah, see, let me first talk about competition. All of you guys have started out on that. See, now, for us personally, like Pratik said, competition of late has been online through a range of online startups in the coffee field. You know, a lot of new age coffee companies have started, and then we have our traditional offline guys like our Narasus, Kothas. So the new guys are basically forcing us to innovate faster because they bring in a lot of ideas, a lot of new concepts, bringing the third wave coffee concepts into India. So we are forced to adapt because of them. But at the same time, we shouldn't get carried away by the new age online partners because still the sheer volumes they are doing is very marginal. So I feel they look very good on social media because that's where the eyeballs are. And even my marketing team, a lot of times they only talk about the new age guys. They ignore the old guns who are still very, very, very strong. 99% of the market is still offline. They dominate. Your Brews, your Nestles, your Narasus, your Kothas, they're all huge. So sometimes we make the mistake of ignoring all of that. Like you rightly said, we have to keep track of competition. The cliche is ignore competition, focus on what you do. I think in today's age and world, you have to focus on what your competition is up to, at least for the sake of not copying, even mistakenly copying them, because you have to stand apart. And in a field like ours, you know, we do similar things. We talk about the quality, we do packaging. So how we can stand apart is something you can learn by observing competition. So how I look at it is, it's a gray area. There is new age startups, online guys who are doing a lot of activities online. But you learn from them, but also don't get carried away by them because it's still early days. People like us have been around for a long time, so we can't change. We have to change. We have to change and we have to change fast. But we consciously don't leave behind all the other things that we've been doing. So that's with competition. We take it with a pinch of salt when we look at the new age guys. And collaboration, like you guys have been saying, you know, after yesterday you put the topic is when I really look back and you know, I was seeing how far we've come in collaborations, because frankly, when I came into Leo like 14 years ago, everything was done in-house. You know, our manufacturing totally in-house, logistics totally in-house. We had our own vehicles, 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, marketing in-house, customer service in-house, employees literally in-house. They lived with us. They used to come from our native place and stay with us 3 times a day, food. So now collaboration is also outsourcing, you know, wherever possible, because experts are there available. We've sold all our vehicles after COVID. It's all Lynx and your Porter. It's all for our commercial vehicles. For our last mile, we use Dunzo. So our customer service is outsourced. Payroll is outsourced. Marketing, we have 3 agencies now for all outsourced. So that, I think we've been collaborating a lot after COVID especially. So I think that's the way ahead. Collaboration, we focusing on our core, which is producing great coffee, great customer service, and then leaving the others to experts, because every other industry is disruptive and innovative. So we need to hire experts for all our allied activities. And competition, as I said, we look at both offline and online, and then we take our decisions based on that.
So Shweta, you're a consultant. You usually advise us on what to do. You're supposed to know everything about our business that we don't know. That's where you're coming from, right? And you're supposed to come and sell that to us so that, you're supposed to help us transform, right? So what's your take on competition, of course, but what's your take on the future of collaboration, right, as a concept by itself in retailers?
Right. So it's a very interesting, topic and thought, right? Collaboration. And I think that somewhere in retail in India, there is still some way to go in this particular sector. I think collaboration can happen between retailers, outside, between manufacturing and retailers in so many different ways. If we just have to look at retail, there are so many segments within retail. Right, there is textile, there is, like you said, optical, and there is a high potential to use collaboration either for store spaces. So we had a brand from the north, an optical brand from the north called Clear Dekho, reach out saying, we don't have presence in the south. Can you help with your connect of retailers in the south to get us small store spaces? We just need 200, 300 square feet. And we will operate, we will do everything. We just need that space, and we will share profits with, large format retailers, because large format retail is a big thing in the south, right? And so this could be a much quicker way for them to come here in the south than to acquire franchisees or set up their own stores here. Right? So that is an example of collaboration. And I think so much more of this can happen, because today I think if we try to do all segments, right? Somebody is doing textile, they're also doing then, grocery or jewelry. So many of these examples exist. Maybe there are segments that we won't be able to do, but can be very high margin that we can enter through some form of collaboration, a win-win model that works for the partner we are collaborating with as well as us. I think there's a lot of things, especially in technology. I've seen this happen beautifully. There'll be arch rivals, Google, right, or even Apple and Microsoft, arch rivals, but they know where to collaborate. In fact, they call them frenemies, right, friends and enemies. But they're friends when it comes to, on the Apple phone, all the Microsoft applications have run, which didn't happen for a long time. I think after Satya Nadella took over as CEO, then they made that happen, where on all the Apple devices, the Microsoft apps would run. And they needn't have done it, right? They're each highly successful companies, but then I think they realized that one could get access to the market of the other by making a simple understanding at the top management level. And I think a lot of this can be replicated in retail as well. One more interesting example is something that you had shared, Suhail, which was on marketing. It's not just space. It can also happen on marketing. It can happen on technology. Let's say, you've seen an interesting, let's say, stock optimization tool. That can be shared with someone else, and they will share something else with you in return. It could happen on manpower, on technology, on marketing collaterals. Interesting example on the voucher that you shared. It could happen on store space, training methodologies, so many different aspects. In this, sometimes, right, we may be worried doing it with our own product retailers. But I was just chatting with Prateek a few minutes before the panel began, and he told me that the last time he went to this optical conference in Gurgaon, it's a World Optical Conference, and he collaborated with another optical brand, and they co-sourced together in an international country, and that has given them economies and higher bargaining power with suppliers. And this is an example of collaboration within the same product space.
Yeah, so it can be temporary as well, right? For example, your competition has not arrived into your geography. For example, you're talking about Clear Dekho, you're talking about apparel business. They've not arrived as yet.
Yeah.
So till they haven't arrived, you collaborate with each other, right? You extract value, right, by value of technology transfer, because they're going to get there anyways, and you're going to get there anyways, right? All the technology tools today are available on tap, right? But in terms of meeting your immediate requirements, your bottom line requirements, we have a monthly, we have an annual bottom line requirement as well, and till you don't see them face to face as competition, like you said, you can decide to coexist with them, source together, share technology together, share tools together, reduce your costs, meet that year's bottom line or meet that year's targets. And then, of course, respectfully disengage as well. That can also be,
It doesn't have to be like a marriage, right? Like you rightly said, it can end in a friendly manner at some point when it stops making sense to either partner. Another interesting collaboration is also geographical collaboration. I thought of it as you were saying, right? If they've not entered the space. I know today that a lot of foreign money is coming into India, right? India is touted to be like the country to invest over the next 10 years. So a lot of the foreign brands, they look for local partners. Of course, we've seen that with Reliance, but it's not necessary that these collaborations only happen at a level of Reliance. It could happen with smaller companies as well, where smaller foreign companies are always looking to enter developing economies. So partner with, maybe that is an option, right? Or even geographical between north and south. I shared Clear Deco as an example, or maybe a lot of southern regional brands are phenomenal, right? They have a story of their own. Some of the size of these brands don't exist in the north. But at the same time, some categories, the north is better. And maybe there is a way, and I think Bala and I have always chatted about this, right? When can we make our regional brand into a nationally, how can Chennai deliver the largest national retail brand ever? Maybe it can happen in a faster manner through
We've got
collaboration.
2 champions here. We're rooting for you. And I don't know if all of you know, but Go Colors went public here, right? So that's another feather in Chennai's cap. We're very proud. I hope the Go Colors guys are here, right? I did have a chat with him. He's not here, but gives us hope. Pratik, last parting words on what, anything you'd want to add on collaboration?
Nothing on.
Right. So, Naveen, you're putting up an environment.
Correct.
I mean, I think you're putting up an environment that is all encompass. Today I saw you're putting the tallest tower of residential. You're putting so where do you see the scope for?
See, I'll tell you, there is a lot of debate going around that where is retail going to end with the advent of growth in e-commerce. Even the Reliance has gone into e-commerce space. Amazon is already there, Flipkart is there, and all those things. So, the sound of E, I mean, E is not an alphabet, it's also a sound. So it's a sound of surprise to the youngsters and sound of shock to the old people. And this is where, we need to defeat the e-commerce. I won't say the defeat, rather compete. So what is against e-commerce? I'll put the competition and the collaboration part. You guys are not into retail commerce. I'll put it this, you are also e-commerce, but yours is an experiential commerce. So it's an e-commerce versus e-commerce. If you guys can put 5 elements together, which I am trying to put via my project, then I think, we are fairly collaborating with each other, and logins can be defeated by the shop walk-ins. Basically, that's what the things are. So there are 5 E's that we are focusing on. The first is environment, second is economics, third is experience, fourth is energy, and fifth is entertainment. All right? Let me elaborate just about half a minute for the all 5 E's. Environment is basically, it happens when lion, cheetah, deer, rabbit, all of are together in the same jungle and the jungle thrives. I think somewhere in this whole era of segmentation, we have separated each of them. Deers cannot hop around lions, lions cannot, they all are against each other, or they all are grouped together. All cheetahs are in malls, all lions. That is where Amazon win. They brought all of them together on the store, and on the street, if I see, I see only larger stores. Smaller stores are not able to display their presence because of the lack of infrastructure, and they are not able to cater to those needs which customer is looking for. So if we can bring them all together and give them an experience, give them an environment which is affordable by all and you can pick and choose, then I think we are surely creating an environment for all. And when all are there, definitely, footfalls will defeat logins. That will definitely happen. So our projects are basically an attempt to that. That is where we come into picture, saying that, okay, we will bring all together. We'll have space for the smaller traders. We'll have space for the larger traders. That is what we are looking at. Then the next thing is economics. Smaller trader cannot afford to create car park for him. That's where he is getting defeated. Where is a common infrastructure? Where is that collaboration coming into? The collaboration has to happen on the infrastructure front. Large players are getting into the malls, they still have an infrastructure. Web, of course, there is a common platform, so there is a digital infrastructure, but what about the physical infrastructure? You would see that rentals have gone down in many of the places where they are not supported by parking. Isn't that very obvious? Somewhere, the smaller players have failed collaborating so far in creating a common infrastructure for a conducive environment. That thing has defeated. I very well know Hirapanna was a great success because there was nothing around and all small traders were thriving there. I am sure you would have been there at some point of time in Mumbai, once upon a time. I'm just trying to put it that way. I think those ecosystems need to be recreated, modernized at a larger level where all smaller, bigger, larger players come together and thrive on a common infrastructure. And big player needs to recognize that this small player being here is not a threat to me. He's not an insignificant person. I can exist with him and he will add value to me. If there are many small players like flea markets are there, so if I come with a family, my wife wants to buy a pin, she has a small players to go at. I want to buy something, I have a large player to go at. My kids want to go for an entertainment. So that environment
is by way of environment, you're enabling collaboration, by way of setting up an environment.
Yeah, then economics, I have said, experience, again, you need a unified experience. Smaller players don't have a unified experience. They all are becoming different. Idea is to be distinct and not to be different. If I start looking something else and he starts looking something else and that is why we have dress codes, The stores are not having a dress code on the street. Not all. I mean, many of us over here are organized players, so we have a dress code. But many stores look so different that when I walk on a street, everything appears, there is no, at least London has achieved that through their architecture. Somewhere that thing is missing. Again, collaboration is needed to unify the experience. You can maintain your distinctiveness, but don't try to appear as a different. Then you will be like a black sheep. That is not required. And too many black sheep, gray sheeps is not required. That is creating a distortion. It's not creating, synergy. Then energy. Great Indian Online Festival. That's an energy. That is where Amazon has been successful. Big billion days. How about Great Indian Offline Festival? Why Chennai together, all stores cannot come and say that, okay, Pongal holiday from 22nd Jan to 29 Jan, we'll have a Great Indian Offline Festival. All stores will put up offers. We will encourage people to go on. There, you have to buy media. See, Amazon has a media buying strength. You don't have it to that extent. Okay, all of you contribute 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, add a media buying strength, create a Great Indian Offline Festival. That is where we are also going to focus on. So we are going to push collective energy and bring walk-ins. Malls have been doing that, but many stores on the streets have not been able to do that. And the last one is entertainment. You don't have to deliver just value for money. There has to be value for time. My family comes out on a Sunday evening. I need a value for time. If I'm going to spend 3 hours, besides shopping, can I have something for them in entertainment? Can I take my kid to a food court? Or smaller players are deprived of that. So that is where the whole idea of collaborating with multiple elements is coming. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Naveen. Ashim, your take? You want to quickly tell us about yourself?
Yeah.
Most of us, yeah.
Hi. So I'm Ashim Patil. Those of who have attended my presentation earlier know about my company. We are into RFID system integration, and we are a Tech Mahindra company. And you can look, we have a stall there where you can know more about us. But coming back to the topic, see, competition is a reality, and in business, the only fact is that you have competition, and the only way your business can thrive is by collaborating. There is no other way. So what we need to find in between competition and collaboration is complementing. So which are the competitions who complement each other? Like you talked about Pratik and yourself, distributing vouchers and all. And I have seen it in the business of interoperability in FASTag, where there is cutthroat competition because 120 crores of revenue collected digitally every day, and we are just 10 players doing it. So we have come on board, we came together, we sat together, we collaborated, and the whole reason was, intention for that was that we have to grow the pie, And then another thing which is required is that somebody or rather everybody coming together, like-minded people, you have to have a feeling of sacrifice and giving away and walking that extra mile. If everybody becomes very, very selfish, then collaboration is not possible. So whoever are coming together, and collaboration is not possible, overnight. We have seen it in our custom e-seals also, where 105 export locations are there across the country, including ICDs and ports. And there also we are only 12 people who are doing the custom clearance for the e-sealing. Those who are doing exports in the manufacturing, you will be knowing that you have to e-seal the containers. So there also, the collaboration we have been trying to achieve since last 2 years.
What kind of collaboration?
Where we want to share our infrastructure.
So you're saying you're actually competing with you're collaborating with your competitors.
Yes, we all face the same challenges, but then we really need to, engage a lot with each other, and the collaboration will be between people at the end of the day.
What are the risks to collaboration with competition?
Data. Data is the biggest risk, data security, and we need to find out way of wherein when it is cutthroat competition, it is always about the business data. So, but there are avenues for collaboration. Like if you see, which is the biggest logistics company in the world?
DHL, right? DHL.
Sorry? No. It's Amazon.
Oh.
It's not an e-tailer. The first mile, the last mile. What they are is a logistics company. We are calling them as e-tailers. We are identifying them as e-tailers. But they have achieved everything through logistics and collaborative logistics. They are not even doing predictive logistics, where you will know that in which are the 4 hours in which you will get the delivery, and you can select your delivery slot. They are also prescribing you. It is prescriptive analytics rather than predictive analytics. So logistics is one area where I think, supply chain and logistics is where I think the retail industry can collaborate very well.
Can you expand on that a bit?
Like somebody was mentioning about the fleets, being shared, like the reverse logistics or the milk run, which is done in automotive. All these areas, I mean, there is much which is to be decided, but areas where, back-end operations are there more, and on the operational side rather than the user experience side. So if we divide the businesses, everybody is trying to achieve 3 things. Everybody is trying to optimize cost, everybody is trying to achieve more and more operational efficiency, and everybody wants to enrich their user experience. So I think on the cost optimization side, if we focus on, the collaboration is possible. Wherever you want to optimize cost, okay, you can think of collaborating, and these will be the low-hanging fruits according to me. I cannot pinpoint a particular area as of now, but if at all the collaboration has to start, or if at all you want to take the first step, then it has to be. And I strongly believe that collaboration has to be a long-term process. It cannot be short-term, it cannot be seasonal, okay? Because what we do with collaboration is we are setting up a precedent as well. We learn from the competition, we learn from the collaboration, and collaboration has to be there, it has to be there to stay, and there has to be some selfless acts to be taken by the industry, then only they can collaborate. This is my pitch. So we have to find complementing. partners, you know.
Within the same industry, collaboration is la la land. I don't think it's a sustainable, because end of the day, your competitors. So, like you said, data is a big challenge. Even if you share
What about, for example, economies of scale? I'm just giving, or I'll give you an example.
production, maybe like
What about technology collaboration? I'll give you an example. Suppose you're buying a piece of technology that's expensive,
fair
right?
enough when you're
right? So I'm not, see, at the end of the day, the one thing you don't want to share is your consumer. But there are a lot of other costs that whether you like it or not, all of us will incur, right?
Depends on the industry. See, in my industry, maybe I don't see it. Maybe when you look at large manufacturing and purchase of equipment or technology, then yes.
I think,
Warehousing, yeah.
yeah, warehousing,
Ama-
yeah.
Amazon,
But I
like he
think,
says, Amazon
somewhere-
is also a warehouse.
Somewhere, I think, in view of this competition, collaboration, all that your competition wants you to do is to lose focus from your customer, right? I believe in the 3 C's: customer, competition, collaboration. Collaboration is the new age world, and commerce, which is the 4th world. But somehow, if you try focusing too much on competition, you lose focus of your customer. And I believe in the theory of the flower shops, which is a very basic theory. Wherever you go outside a temple, outside a dargah, outside a mosque, or anywhere, the flower vendors are all right next to each other. You'll never find a flower vendor staying far aloof and expecting the customer to come there. We have seen with data that every time a competition opens next to us or we open next to a competition, business grows. Because there are more customers who come to that zone rather than you wanting to spend that money and bring that customer to your store.
I mean,
A large established retailer, and then, yeah, exactly.
So when we tell our BD team, they ask us, sir, where do you want the next store? We just give them 3 or 4 competition names. I don't want to go open next to a Biba or a Go Colors or a W. That's not my customer. My customer is the guy going to a Balaji Bhavan, the guy going to my competition, the guy going to a eye hospital or a pharmacy store. Because I know my customer. If I go open right next to a Helvetica or a Zimson where a luxury crowd comes in, the guy is not going to walk into my store because I don't have products for him. Yeah.
For example, either technology or real estate, with your competition.
So we use technology. We use a software called Gap Maps. Gap Maps is a proprietary tool based out of New Zealand that has mapped the entire India based on the density of population, the top retailers around, and you can also map all your competition retailers on it with a lat long, and you can know what is the per capita income in that particular zone. So we use data before we go to a store. It looks very simple for a BD team to just go open a store, but there is a lot of back-end work that is done. We recently opened up a store in Avinashi. Avinashi is off Tirupur. It's a population of less than 1 lakh people over there, right? But who would go open up a store in Avinashi? But we know that a lot of people, that's like the ECR of Coimbatore and Tirupur. People are going and living on that side. So there is a lot of catchment that is getting Maremalai Nagar, Perungaluttur. You know, these are outskirts of Chennai that are having good IT belt crowd that are having an average income of upwards of 1 lakh a month. You don't expect a customer to come from Krompet to
good
Perungaluttur.
example is we have our shop-in-shop stores.
Sometimes you have to be your own competition. For me, my stores are my own competition. We have 6 stores in Mylapore. So my staff is worried when I open up another store saying, sir, my store stays will come down. You will question me tomorrow on like-to-like growth. I said, if I don't open, another guy is going to open. If I have a better OC, let me open.
You know, I think, Tapan, you have a product that unifies, right?
Yeah,
Omni, you're saying. So, how do you view collaboration on a platform like yours?
Yes, that's a very good question, and thank you, Sohail, for asking me to speak. I'll talk case studies. I'm Tapan Acharya, and I'm doing omni-channel, which is store fulfillment model. Buy online, ship from store for 100 brands for 10,000 stores. Upwards of a GMV, we've done about 1,000 crore rupees of GMV. In the pandemic, and I'm talking about the only competition to shopping is actually time. I want to shop so much, I don't have enough time to shop that much. And I have small needs, I have big needs, I have needs based on my role, based on I'm a father, I'm a husband. I want to shop so much more, I don't have enough time. So the biggest competition to actually retail is time. And I'm going to talk about collaboration, and I'm going to talk about numbers and what we've seen in the last 1.5 years. So we designed this 7 years back, and it was all ship from store model. And we were doing like, triple digit numbers or 4-digit numbers of everyday orders kind of situation before the pandemic. In the pandemic, the order volume grew 10x. And it was all buy online, ship from store. So collaboration I'm talking about. A person is buying on Myntra, he's buying on Amazon, buying on Flipkart, it is shipped from store. For all our retailers, Purvika Mobile, for all brands, Arrow, Gap, Sephora, various categories, for Tulsi Pharma, and it is being shipped from store. Now, in the pandemic, what happened is when people were not able to step into store, but they are buying online, entire collaboration, entire products were shipped from stores. And the stores were always fresh. The online and offline is not a competition. It is a collaboration. The mall owners came together and kept a percentage-based model with the brands. That, okay, if the product is getting sold online, it is shipped from the store, X percentage, billed on the POS. The mall owners started collaborating. They brought all the brands in the mall onto online. So the customer funnel, the buying was happening online, an excellent example of collaboration. But the stores were participating. The third point which I want to bring on is the collaboration aspect of the logistics partners, as you said, delivering to 26,000 pin codes. Now, when you're shipping from a store and the product is getting delivered the next day, the cancellation rates, the return RTO is very, very low. And that's how the entire collaboration piece comes in. It is not just, it is an industry-wide, it is a channel-wise collaboration. We've been thinking that, okay, uni-channel, only physical we will do, or multi-channel, we will separately do physical, we will separately do online. But the collaboration is between online and offline. It is omni-channel, cross-cutting journeys. Buy online, pick up in store. Buy online, ship from store. That's where the collaboration is. And I have seen in the last, for some of the brands who went live on this model, in last 6 months, they've done just buy online, ship from store, about 100 crore rupees per brand.
To add on to that online, offline, right? It's a very interesting point that you bring up. Several times, online retailers, have felt that a lot of my market is going away to the offline. But I think that this is an interesting point on collaboration where much of the experience that is available on the online retail channel, and which is why a customer probably chooses the online retail channel, can somewhere, the good side of it can also be replicated in offline stores. For instance, availability is a large issue for offline retailers, right? It's not possible for offline retailers to stock that much. So several times I walk into a Shopper Stopper and I tell them, hey, this is not there, but can you arrange it and can you send it to the house, right? And this model, they're just not used to it. But this could be a driver of revenue as well,
Yeah,
right?
and I think all of us also, I don't know whether most of us are ready, but we need to stop using words like online and offline. These are just channels for us to...
Channel specifics.
Channels for us to fulfill demand.
Exactly.
And,
your brand is the king.
And so I'll tell you why I'm making that point. A lot of it is coming from fear.
Yeah, very
Now,
true.
for example, I'm not savvy with technology. So I say, nay, Flipkart is not doing well or can't do online. So I think collaboration also comes there. How many of you have actually reached out to a fellow retailer online and said, boss, I want to come, I want to spend half a day with you, and I want to learn new tricks from you. I'm going to come, spend 2 days with you, and I'm going to learn new tricks from you. I'm going to ask you, can I share your CTO's cost? How many of you, for example, Pratik, I'm going to put you on the spot now. How many of you have reached out to Pratik and asked him, Pratik, how would you open 125 stores in one city? Can I come sit with you? I'm not a competitor. I want to know. And, of course, he's given you a lot of inputs. But I think that's also collaboration. Collaboration does not necessarily mean, Pratik, give me your data dump. It can also be that what can I learn from you? Can we share your technology officer? How much are you paying? You're paying him 5 lakh, you're paying him 10 lakh. Can I pay 4 lakh rupees? Can I reduce your cost? It doesn't take any skin off his gear, you know, it doesn't hurt him in any manner. His CTO's downtime is used by you. So I think that's all scope for collaboration as well, because at the end of the day, we're all here to make a profit, right? And grow the business. Now, traditionally for all of us, how do we grow a business? We put more capital, we bring more profit out. How do you buck that trend, you know? So I think that's also scope for collaboration where we learn from each other, and that's a big word. But the moment we mention the word collaboration, everybody says, my data. Don't share your data, put Chinese walls, right? And ensure that, you know, data is not shared. Now, logistics providers, we're working with DHL, we're working with Blue Dart. You're aware that he has all our data as it is, right? We are anyway sharing our data with him. It's not like we're hiring him, right?
Sohail, I'll just add to that point. The way we are using data for logistics providers, whenever a customer buys online, we have a trend of the customer, how many times the customer will cancel the order or return a fake product or return a damaged product. And your RTO return cost is an actual cost. So, and we have all the inventory data. So we pick up what is the profile of this customer. Is this customer likely to cancel the order? And if the profile is dark green, the customer gets a cash on delivery. The customer gets a slotted delivery that tomorrow morning by 10 a.m. your product will reach onto your doorstep. Because of the collaboration with the logistics partners and the online channels, and the retailer sharing the inventory data, that my inventory is in this store and from this store it will be shipped from. You have so huge amount of predictability. If you are getting a product in the next 12 to 16 hours, the cancellation rates are down by 80%. So proven handheld figures in hand.
But I am a firm believer that if you feel that your data is getting leaked or your competition doesn't know your data, that means you don't know that your data is already there with the competition. So please, let's come out of this myth that your competition doesn't know your data. The competition has every data about you before he's entering the business also. I'll ask a simple question to everybody. If you want to find out what a XYZ store does in a particular month or a particular week average, what is the easiest way? Just buy the first bill on a Monday morning and the last bill on a Sunday evening. You'll know the number of transactions. You know his AOV. Multiply, you get the sales. So before we go open a store, we go buy one product in the nearby optical store on a Monday morning, and on a Sunday evening, I will go buy another product from there. I know what his average AOV is. This is the number of bills he's cut. Number of bill cut into AOV is the average weekly sales. Get your monthly sales. You know what's the market share. You've invested what, 2 pair of glasses? Which I can return, but you can do it for, I can do it for basics, I can do it for any brand. That's the cost of investment. Rather than you putting the 25 lakh, it's better to spend the 20,000 ahead of time. And you'll get to know how much is a Go Colors next to me getting footfalls versus a Biba versus a pharmacy store. That's why we opened right next to MedPlus.
No, there is another,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, parting notes quickly.
No, so there is another interesting form of collaboration. We've spoken of competitors, we've spoken of outsourced parties. Another thing I think is that is really catching up is this buy now, pay later kind of options, right?
BNPL, yeah.
Yeah, buy now, pay later, which I think is one of the benefits when people shop online, really. So I think collaboration with finance companies, I think it's happened a lot in some spaces, consumer durable, etc. But it's
No,
really
but that's
going
very
to seep
prevalent now.
into-
Our websites all have it now. I
yeah,
think
on websites
it's par
too,
for
but
the course,
physical
no?
stores.
Hmm?
Right, some of the physical stores,
Physical
you can
stores
also
as
look
well.
at higher collaboration with financial partners to enable buy now, pay later kind of options. And of course, the risk is with the financial partner, the retailer.
You've got Bajaj Finance who's been there for eons now.
Correct, for some segments of retail. But the question is, does it sort of penetrate into
No, but I
some
think
of
it's
the
a
other
great idea.
segments?
It's a great. So for us, time's up. Any questions from the audience for any specific member of the panel? No? Good. So then that's a wrap. We'll all head for lunch now. All our stomachs are rumbling. Thank you so much. Thank you for holding on.